Whatever
Wrong song.
Avant said.
Yeah, that song
Whatever
was on
our
my
font said.
MySpace. On my
Yo,
MySpace.
Straight from the Gutter Network presents Yin and Yang the podcast, episode 72. We have 4 seconds to start the show. So Bam start singing Avant. Don't ask me why.
I only got 4 seconds. Do what I
That's,
gotta do to prove to
see?
you.
School is important, ladies and gentlemen. Like for real, for real. We gotta remember lyrics. You know what I'm saying? We gotta remember song titles. But listen, man, we got a special guest with us tonight. Jessica B Live is in the building. Y'all seen her plenty of times in the chat. Um, I'm gonna let her introduce herself and of course shout out her own movement because everybody on here has their own thing going on. So she's gonna introduce herself, give you her YouTube page, what she got going on, her days in the cities and all that. Talk to them, sweetie.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Jessica B Live. Some of you might know me from WVMR. I used to DJ on there. Had a radio show called the Jessica B Live Hour. Right now, I'm pretty much just working and doing YouTube. So my YouTube is just Jessica B Live. So I pretty much just do, little short vlog videos, travel videos, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And modeling here and there. Shout out to
Listen,
Phantom.
man. She got a cute little photo shoot up. Now, first of all, let me rephrase that. Because I really, really hate when people say anything you do is little.
Okay.
She got a big photo shoot out. So make sure y'all check her out. And yes, Cuzzo, you're right. It is 4 minutes. I don't know, Bam just remixed it. That's the bandasity of it all. You know what I'm saying? Madam, welcome back.
What up, what up, what up, sis?
Cuzzo, what up, Cuzzo? Chris, what up, little bro? Victoria and Cry, she's always in the building.
Hey, Victoria and Cry.
Doing what she do. Has to be. Now, Bam makes up her own remixes, she don't like to get sued. You know what I'm saying? So that's what happens. So when she remixes things, she's actually trying to save us some bread.
That too, and I think it sounds better when I say it.
It sounds better. Yo, it sounds better when you say it.
It does sound better when I remix certain things. You be like, you know what? I think I like this version better than the original.
No, so do you know what the industry wanted to remix Escape into from day one? Y'all don't know?
No, what?
They wanted to remix them into beautiful women. Ain't that some foul
They
shit?
huh?
Take a listen.
Escape was tough, and it was a hard group because people didn't think they was cute. Biggie had made dreams of and Escape bitches. That was hard.
Right.
Like
right.
I'm out here dealing with this, right? So I took a stand that was like, okay, they ugly, cool. Find me somebody that can sing better than them. Right? I start acting like just going off of their talent, pure talent. But yeah, it was hard. It wasn't, In Vogue was out at the time, right? So Escape coming out when In Vogue is out, these little girls, they look like who? This to the third. They don't. That ain't flying. And Escape is young, right? It's another thing. Escape is a young group. I'm making R&B music, and R&B radio told Columbia that the music sounded too young.
So JD went on that show, right? And said that it was a real hard sell for him to be able to shop Escape around because they were not deemed cute.
Really?
First of all, I mean, who am I to judge? Talking about looks wise, but I could say that which one I'm talking about. Looked better when she was in Escape younger compared to how she looks now. But I'm gonna leave that one alone. And when it comes to singing, only two of them to me, were the best singers. It was only the sisters were the best singers in the whole group. But I ain't gonna lie, Candy, her background vocals in certain songs match. Her songs, her notes match where they need to be at. Like
Candy got the wagon.
She was like, she was kind of like Michelle. Like when it came to Destiny Child, Candy was like the Michelle. Like Michelle.
Wait, hold on.
Necessary.
Candy ain't never fall though.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about, you know, with her falling. I'm talking about where her vocals sit at.
That coordination, you know.
You know what I'm saying? Where her vocals sit at, it matched.
Okay.
Tiny, you know, her song selections were good. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
so,
bam,
but the sisters were the two best ones.
Listen, man,
the sisters were the best ones.
I want to give a shout out to Tip because that man showed me that love truly is blind. Like he's a stand-up dude for that. I definitely got to give him a shout out for that. And I hear you, Bam, and I hear that the backlash that JD is getting for this. And at the end of the day, guess what? Y'all all wrong. JD is right. Everybody knows that the better you look and the more people want to fuck you, the more you're going to sell. It is what it is. If you're a little cutie, you're going to get more follows.
I mean, that's probably true.
It is what it is. Like, let's keep it a stack here, right? That was an era. That was an era when En Vogue, like JD just said, and everybody wanted to fuck En Vogue from a certain age group, right? So it's kind of like we can't lose sight of the reality of the music industry. The better you look, the easier your life is. And life is even like that in general. Peace, KB, peace. And the crazy thing is, right, it's more prevalent in the music industry because it is a look-based industry. But if you go in the financial world, right, which are the ones that get the internships? The little baddies, the little cuties. Who are the ones that rise to the top quicker? Outside of men, of course, because men are forever going to have an advantage of things, right? But it's the cuties, right? And then it's the rest of y'all.
Not the rest of y'all.
No, well, it's not all. It's the cuties and the wait. It's the cuties and the ones that's willing to be on that casting couch.
Yeah.
But if you notice, wait, but there's more men. Wait, hold up. There's more men on the casting couch than females nowadays.
Yep. Times have changed for the worse, apparently.
I mean, shout out to Diddy. I mean,
oh Lord.
It's not just Diddy. It's not just Diddy. I'm beyond me and Flinch.
Listen,
Weinstein, all of them.
This dude who said, Terrence Howard said that he had to tell Diddy he didn't play gay roles. That's what I'm talking about. I ain't talking about nothing else. Now that's a bald-faced lie, KV. KV said, I think people make it like that. How did Biggie sell a male when female wasn't feeding him like that? Women love Big. Yo,
black and ugly. However, I stayed. Who knows? I stayed. No. He was still ugly though.
What? But guess what? He was still fucking the baddest chicks though.
Cause he had money.
But I think okay. So money. So now we're gonna act like money don't matter.
That's like Jay-Z. Jay-Z is ugly as shit, but people liked him because he had money.
Come on now.
Jay-Z out here look like the Campbell guy from the cigarette box.
Joe Campbell, yep.
And he only got it because he had because he was out there. Everybody know it's the opposite. When it comes to it's like a double standard. When it comes to the industry, yeah, if the girls is pretty, blase, yeah, niggas wanna sleep with the girls. But when it comes to the men, these men be looking like who did it and ran
Listen,
and got all
They could
and
be
their
half
teeth is
dead.
all messed up and
listen.
everything else, and
This is all
chicks
I'm gonna
love
say.
them.
This is all I'm gonna say. Okay. Kodak Black has like 9 kids.
He's another one too. I'm like, who is
He
laying
look
up
like a
with this
roach.
man?
He's like a bro.
Who is laying up
Yo,
with
he
this
don't
man?
look like something that he should be stepped on. Him, no disrespect, Little Uzi, Vert, all of them. I mean, no disrespect to them. Like their music be decent at times, but my thing is this: we talking about looks. We're not gonna sit here.
Wait. That's another thing. How did Little Uzi Vert get JT?
I don't know. That's
Money.
a puzzle and an enigma right
But she
there.
got money though.
Exactly. She has money. So
Well, obviously he doing
what are we
something.
doing?
I mean,
But you gotta understand, you know, these new females like these weird dudes nowadays. Come on, like look at Sukiyana. Sukiyana out here admitting out these chicks is doing weird things nowadays.
hold on.
With these men.
Hold on. We're gonna put some respect on Sukihana's name. Okay?
She out
Ray
here
J
admitting she
said, hold
flipping
on,
niggas'
Bam.
asses and
Hold
eating
on,
them.
Bam. Hold on, Bam. Ray J said when he ate Sukihana out, he left her scent in his upper lip for a week straight because that's how good she smells. I'm just saying.
I think he lying.
Wait, was that before or after she ate his ass?
I
Now,
think
that's
he
disgusting.
She said in her song, I was eating his ass, now I'm eating his
First of
ass,
all,
now we eating each other's ass.
I've never listened to a Sukihana song. Like I just haven't. Okay, I'm not like. Here's the thing. Okay, I'm not one of those old heads that is like, oh my god, everything has to be pro my time, and it has to be real hip hop, and it has to be no. I'm not that guy. Yes, I'm going to be 46 this year. Yes, I am umped. It is what it is. Y'all see the grace. Now, right? What I'm saying is that there is some new music that I'm alright with. There's some stuff out there and be like, there's a nice little knot. But for the most part, yeah, they just make trash. It's not that I want the old sound, because if I wanted, for example, right? If I wanted the old sound, I could just have a playlist of the old sound. And that's that.
Yeah,
I'm alright with them little trap beats. I'm just not okay with y'all killing 800 dudes and 2 of those deaths really happened and now you're locked up. That's stupid to me. I come from an era where we was really outside, like no camera phones, there was no cell phones, period. And half of the shit that went on, it ain't on film. Y'all telling on yourselves. Y'all want to blame Black TV and everybody else for y'all getting caught up, but y'all the one giving them the content.
But ain't Vlad says anyway, but we gonna leave that alone too.
Ain't what? You say ain't Black what?
Ain't he said?
Listen, man, I don't know who's fed, who's not, but at the
just
end
might
of the day,
be.
right? Here's the thing, okay? Here's the thing. At the end of the day, you have to be cognizant of anything that you say on a public platform can be used.
Yeah.
Like,
But that's nothing new.
Here?
That's how they got Pac in them too.
Like, come on now. And those that get caught on tape admitting to certain things and they're not locked up or whatever, you know they told. Come on now. 2 + 2 is always going to equal 4. But you know, it's Joe, I couldn't have said it any better. These new artists are too thirsty for attention. It's the new currency. It is. Yo, people worry about more about how many followers they got than how much is in their bank account.
Or their 401k.
Like, some people don't even know what a 401k is, or a pension, or stocks and bonds, or anything. Like, I just, life insurance. Y'all leaving your kids dead?
Nah, they like to fight and talk shit on Love and Hip Hop and all them other shows. They like Ratchet TV. They're trying to get on Ratchet TV. You got to think about it. Nowadays, you got young females and men But you got these young females getting in these contracts to get beat up on television.
Yeah, self-humiliation.
Crazy.
and-
Yeah, but you
I'm
know,
not paying.
y'all
I'm
wanna
not
know
trying
what's
to get
crazy?
paid to get beat up.
Y'all want to know what's crazy? So we have, right, this whole beef, right, of trade and China and the U.S. And I'm gonna raise it to 124. I'm gonna raise it to 144. I'm gonna raise it to 208. I'm gonna raise it to 228. The one thing that has come out of this, right, is the fact that all of that real-ish, right, that y'all thought y'all was buying, and y'all kept shaming that 28th Street fake-ish, right?
Word.
Oh,
My has the table has turned.
No, shout out to China. Hold on, we turn this music off for this thing because
Selling
copyright infringement.
made
Nah,
in
we're not doing
China,
that. Y'all
products
see
at
that?
premium prices.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
I mean, I've always known this, so
Yeah,
I'm
we
not
knew that.
surprised.
Is it we knew that the
I'm
28th Street?
mad that people didn't know this. I'm like, y'all can't be serious. Like, really? Like, that's what I'm mad at. I'm mad that y'all are so shocked. Like, I saw a bunch of videos on YouTube where, like, a lot of women were like, I spent all this money and I worked so hard for all these bags. And I'm just like, at a certain point, you gotta have priorities. Cause like, why do you even think you need that bag that costs $5,000? Like, why do you think you need that? It sounds like you
KV
sacrificed
says,
something.
Jessica, do me a
Saturday.
favor. Jessica, do me a favor. Read that comment from JB. This is gonna
He
shut.
said-
First of all, before you read it, okay?
Okay.
This is going to shut everybody the fuck up. Right here. Just read this right here.
China only told everybody because they need to cut out all middlemen. Tariffs kicking the ass all over the block.
Yikes. Followed by yikes.
28th Street Birkins go crazy. Like, I was so tempted to get like one of those bags too, because I know like it wasn't gonna cost a whole lot of money. And I would have been proud to win. Like, white, you could honestly, here's a perfect example. A white woman could go on that same 28th Street, Canal Street, get that same bag, and you would believe that it's real. But unfortunately, if a black woman wears it, it just gotta be fake. Like, that's
But
another
even
thing
the
too that
black,
I
but
noticed.
even the black woman wearing the real one, they get told is fake.
You noticed that too, right? Okay. Okay.
Shit don't make no sense. But yo, one thing that I did forget, is Straight from the Gutter Network is sponsored by Sensational Smiles. You can catch them on IG on Sensational Smiles 845, and they also have a physical store, 2 West Main Street in Middletown, New York. 2 West Main Street in Middletown, New York. Get your teeth done, teeth whitening, veneers, get the diamonds in your teeth, get the IV joint, get the yoni little coochie thingy cleaned out or steamed or whatever.
Oh Lord, why you gotta say it like that?
First
Or
of
I
all,
just-
with that, wait, but you got a disclaimer. If you're going to do that, the whole Yanni clean and Yanni stems, do not do it if you have an IUD, because it is a possibility that your IUD could come out. So it is health regulations that you got to be careful with that too. And then if you have the water steam too hot, you can actually give your hoo-ha burns. So just, be careful with that. I'm not saying this person ain't careful, but I'm just telling everybody, every female, just to be careful and make sure you go to a professional like this person that he's talking about.
You have to go to somebody that's licensed.
Yeah.
They don't have that license on that wall. They don't have that license on that wall. Don't schedule that appointment. Just saying. But y'all know how
they need to have one for men. Something steam for y'all. Steam y'all balls. Y'all be out here
I ain't gonna hold you. I'll steam my bowls.
I feel like that would hurt. Isn't the skin sensitive down there for men?
But it's a steam.
I mean, our hoo-ha is sensitive shit, man, you know.
Yeah, but the testicle skin is kind of sensitive though. Like it's kind of thin.
It is a little sensitive. It is a little sensitive. I ain't gonna hold you. It is. But I'll do it though. I'll definitely be a crash dummy for that one. I'm good. I'm good for steaming. I mean, Joe Colombo said he ain't steaming his sack at all.
First of all, my bro gonna say, don't be out here bedazzling. First of all,
not the
too late. There's female. First of all, there's a place in Harlem where you can bedazzle the hoo-ha. You can put diamonds and jewels and everything on the hoo-ha. So when the question comes up,
for why?
Why? We mean for why? For why?
Well, nigga, for why? I ain't stutter.
No, I'm trying to tell you why. Because sometimes you gotta dress it up a little something. You got some men that might be into something, maybe dress it up a little bit. Or when he brags to his boys or somebody, you know how some men don't shut up. And they be like, yo, bro, why you with shorty? Nah, yo, her joint golden. And she really came to you with a golden hoo-ha.
But here's the thing, right? But this is the same logic. This is the same logic of motherfuckers that wear colognes or don't wash their ass, right?
No,
So,
it's not. If she still cleans her
hold
hoo-ha.
on, pimping. You are putting cologne on stank body, right? Some of these women that don't wash the hoo-ha gonna think they're gonna try to pretty this motherfucker up. A snake is still a snake.
No, they can't. First of all,
roast beef.
First of all, gutter, you cannot. First of all, here's the thing though. There's a person that's bedazzled when a female get a wax or whatever, that wax person, you're supposed to make sure you come there fresh. That's like if you go into a GYN appointment. You're supposed to make sure you come in there fresh. Now, if you come in there, you funking up the place, they would not wax you at all.
They can.
They cannot. They will not. If you in there coming in stinking, they would not. They would tell you to get out and wash your shit.
Got to reschedule that appointment.
I mean,
what is that?
I mean, the GYN doctor ain't gonna tell you that because there might be something wrong. So he or she is gonna tell you, listen, you got bacterial stuff going on.
I'm pretty sure there's something wrong when you smell like that.
Yeah. They would tell you. They would personally tell you that they would tell you suck in your stomach so they can try to get you. Yes, they will. If you have a belly, they would. If they try to get the hair,
trying to get the spares.
They would tell you to suck your stomach in. They would actually have your legs up. They would put you in certain positions. Like, what the hell is this? Yes, they will, to get every single crevice.
Not crevice.
Yes, I'm only saying this because I used to go do the wax, and I ain't gonna lie, I felt very, very uncomfortable at first because I was like, dang. I said, my man didn't even put me like this. Why is this putting me? I was like, come on, man. I should have a cigarette after this, after the way you were just doing me.
Damn.
So, yes. And then there's a channel on YouTube of a young lady that pulls out ingrown hairs and pops pimples on men and women in that area on YouTube. And they show it. And they put you in very uncompromising positions to make sure they're clean and everything else.
I mean, I appreciate the effort. If I'm going to get something done.
I mean, hey.
Putting this on YouTube? Like...
No, there's a channel where this is a girl that she will literally, like, she's in there popping the pimples off the hoo-has and the ding-dongs. And she's pulling out the ingrown hairs. And you see it. Sometimes you might see the ding dong. Sometimes you might see the hoo-ha lip or two. Yes.
Yeah, that's kind of messed up. Because like, what if you're watching
First
that
of
and
all,
you just recognize?
No, they sign a waiver if you want your, but you don't see no face. You don't see your face, but it's just like. And then Shorty did her own. And then Shorty did her own one time. Like she had her own hoo-ha lip up there and was popping home. It's crazy.
I mean, it's pretty much OnlyFans at this point.
Yeah, it's like a
I said
low-grade
YouTube. I didn't say
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
No, but like
It's
the
pretty
content
much.
of it is like a low-grade OnlyFans.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a, you know what I mean? It's not OnlyFans, but it's like a lower grade version of it because
It's like
it's
a
on YouTube.
beginner's version of OnlyFans.
Intro to
This is the rookie.
OnlyFans.
This is level 1, guys. It gets real intense after this.
I'm done.
I'm just saying, like, this is crazy. Like, for example, I was
All you gotta
IG
do,
the other
all you
day.
gotta do is say, all you gotta do is say it's for educational purposes, and then they rocks.
Yo, bam.
Okay.
I saw on IG the other day, I'm scrolling, and it was back-to-back titties, and they breastfeeding. You saw the nipple and everything. I'm like, this ain't Twitter, this is Instagram. Like, what is going on here?
For educational purposes. Wait.
What am I learning about you having a 4-year-old
Educational
sucking on your
purposes.
titties? First of all, why is a 4-year-old sucking on your titties?
Another thing, 4 years
It was
old.
a big
like,
ass kid. I'm just saying.
Nah.
No
I mean, they
joke.
say you can
This is
supposed to
the same
breastfeed to win.
Not
I don't
four,
know.
I think 1 or 2.
I think a 1 max.
I thought it was
one
2.
of-
I thought once they start growing teeth, that's it. They be able to bite you.
Yo, they gonna be on some. Listen, what I'm looking at is, right, at the end of the day, if your kid is big enough to damn near talk back, they should not be breastfeeding.
Yeah, if they're talking, why are you breastfeeding?
I'm just saying. Knock alarm, but it wasn't even Titty Tuesday, bro. It really wasn't. It wasn't even a Tuesday. Man, random. But look at for the Jews, right? They bring out the special Coca-Cola, right? Which is made with the real cane sugar. That's actually the sugar that your body's okay to have, not the high fructose. But take a listen.
Don't open this one. Not until Passover. That is so bad. Why are there yellow caps on this Coke, but on other Coca-Colas are regular caps? Why does this cap differ from all other caps? No caps. The reason is because this Coca-Cola has no corn syrup. Usually Coca-Colas have corn syrup, but this one is a special run that Coca-Cola does just for the Jewish people who celebrate Passover, and they put real sugar. And actually,
Can we see the ingredients?
we should have this the whole entire year.
Can I see the ingredients? Let's see. What's inside?
Cane sugar and
Cane
caramel
sugar.
color.
Nice.
So basically, if Coca-Cola was going healthy, this is the way it would be. So for
Passover
Passover,
Coca-Cola.
this is kosher for Passover, and a lot of people stock up on them.
You said, Ben?
Nah, no, I thought he's talking about it's soda. It's still bad, but they put
Absolutely.
sugar and caramel. It's sugar and food coloring. And then I just saw what my bro said. My bro just said, bring back Coca-Cola with real cocaine and cocaine.
Cool. So the thing is, right? Because the thing is, if you're gonna drink it, at least drink the real version of it. But some people are gonna drink it regardless. So why not
Yeah.
give them a healthier version of it? But you know what I mean? Do your
When
thing,
soda's
man.
healthy.
Huh?
I mean, they have the prebiotic and the probiotic soda.
I mean,
so,
Oh yeah, the
that's
poppy.
yeah.
yeah, Poppy, yes, I get that. But Coca-Cola, Pepsi, all them sodas, didn't ginger ale, sweats in them, got a lawsuit because they talking about they're not using real artificial flavoring instead of real ginger.
Yeah.
But that's the
that
thing.
definitely
Have
happens.
any of y'all actually drank ginger ale?
I've drank
Yeah.
ginger beer.
It tastes completely different.
Yes.
Yeah.
than
Actual
that
ginger ale tastes
bodega
different.
crap. Actual ginger ale
Yeah.
tastes completely different.
Yeah.
But people don't know. People don't want to be healthy. You know what I'm saying?
I think they just enjoy the unhealthy food. Because, like, if they really could afford to be healthy and if it was easy, they would. But being healthy is not always easy.
But you have to
That's
be
the
disciplined.
issue. Exactly. You definitely have to have a lot of discipline.
You gotta have discipline. But yo, which one of you guys going to England for this? Real life Pac-Man.
Me and my husband going to do that. We
Yo,
will.
That
Right,
shit
Papa?
right there,
That does look fun.
that shit looks fire.
Did you see that they got the They're gonna have a Mario Kart?
I think they do that every year upstate. New
Like in
York.
Germany and Japan, they have,
Oh,
have,
no,
a,
the
they have a
go-kart.
Mario Kart.
The go-kart up here, they did that. They do that every year.
Yeah.
But it's not as realistic. It's not like Mario go-kart though.
What's it like? What is it like?
This is just a go-kart.
No, but I heard
Do
they
a
do it in
go-kart.
Japan. Like in Japan, they actually have like the Mario Kart, like the go-karts. Like you see it in the Mario game.
Like
Like
you
in,
can throw shit out of the cars and everything. Like, for real.
Yeah.
It's fire. That's what I want to do. But let's go back into the Coca-Cola
I
topic.
don't know about that.
For a
Did you
little
cause an
bit.
accident though?
They'll be alright. Nah, everything is surrounded by foam and stuff like that. Nobody dies.
Oh, okay.
So a child who eats 2 cups of Cheetos, macaroni and cheese, a small bag of Skittles, and 8 ounces of crushed so orange will consume 102 milligrams of artificial food dyes. Behavioral tests found as little as 30 milligrams can cause neurological injuries. Then parents are told their kid has ADD, ADHD. Now, do y'all believe with that? Oh, and Jessica, to answer your question, accidents are the point. From Madam Porter.
So it must
So-
be in an enclosed area then, obviously.
No, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely. But it's made for you to crash. You know what I mean? You're supposed to crash.
I agree. I mean, it's crazy out here when it comes to health because since moving out here and paying more attention to health, and again, you know, I don't do the pork thing. I had to start reading certain things like Skittles. I can't eat those. Starburst. I'm not sure. I got to do the research on that, but I think I can. But Airheads, I can eat. Sour Patch Powers, I can eat. Trolleys, I can't eat certain things because they have the because you know the gelatin. Some of these products have the gelatin in it. Now here's the thing: some of the products have beef gelatin. Some of them have pork gelatin. Since I can't eat pork, I gotta be careful, make sure it's not made with pork gelatin. But you got certain companies like Airheads and the Power Straw, like the sour straws. They are geared for people who are for vegans and you know people who don't eat pork and stuff like that. So it's like certain candies, certain things, certain food colorings that you know you just got to be careful eating. So I agree that a lot of the stuff we put in our body, as even before the child even comes, we have to be careful. Like, you know, if you're a mother that's, you know, pregnant and planning to be pregnant, it's certain things you have to stay away from. You can't even eat, period, or have your child eat eventually, which is why, you know, you got people like, you know, RFK fighting, trying to make things a little more healthier. Why you got things like, you know, tariffs that's out here, because if you go to these other countries, they won't, like, certain ingredients are not in their food compared to the ingredients that are in our food that they send to us, and certain things that we go back to them, they won't accept that all, but they want us to accept everything that they give us, and they giving us, you know, the stuff that they won't even eat. You get what I'm saying? All the byproducts that they won't even eat. Like, I was watching something with hubby yesterday, and the gentleman said that when COVID happened, a lot of our beef came from Australia and China and other places where, you know, we don't have farmers. We don't have, like, you know, many farmers out here. We don't have a lot of stuff. So for it to be brung back here, things could start being grown here. Because some of the stuff that's made here, they won't take there. So why should we accept things coming from here that's killing us?
Yeah.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Makes sense.
It does.
These
And
are
you wonder
things
why the
that we
kids is
definitely
coming
gotta
up.
stop. But Tracy Ellis Ross admits she'd rather date younger men because they are more accepting.
She a cougar now.
Men my age are steeped in a toxic masculinity and have been raised in a culture where there is a particular way that a relationship looks. And anything that starts to smell of that for me, I did enough of it where I was controlled and felt like I was a possession or whatever those things were, or prize, and I have no interest in it.
Tracy, just get a cat and call it a day. Just go down to wherever, the pet store, wherever, get you a nice little fluffy cat and just pack it up. But you don't got to sit up here and try to disparage an entire generation of men just because you suck at relationships.
Oh man, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I think that, you know, I don't think she sucks at relationships. I think it's definitely possible that she's prioritizing a certain kind of person that she wants to date. Because I saw like all the slides of that interview from the Shade Room. So yeah, I think she's trying to like prioritize the kind of person she wants. And it just sounds like, yeah, you know, you just focusing on like the small margin of toxic men that you've been around, and you're just using that. But I think she's just prioritizing what her partner should be. That's all.
I mean,
oh boy, go ahead, Ben.
I mean, so to a certain extent, I agree to a certain extent, but I feel that I just listened to what she said. She said men in her age bracket, and she said, you know, as a control. Was it really like I said, it's a control, or you don't want to submit, or you don't want the man to lead? Like, you feel that men your age bracket, you don't want, because, you know, you got some men that in her age bracket, meaning like they are men that feel that they should be, you know, providers, they should be leaders. So she is not to pull back her energy a little bit and let the man lead. Now you talking about you want younger men. The younger guy is just gonna wham bam, thank you, ma'am, and don't care, and maybe use her as a sugar mama.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And then of course the younger guys is gonna accept anything. They're gonna deal with you, but then when it's time for them to settle and really want a real female, a real one, they're not gonna pick you, chick, because they're gonna want to have children and want to have whatever, and you might be out of their age range to even be ready for it. Depending, like, you know, later on might be.
My thing is this,
like I said. And then wait, KV just said, what I hear is my peers know I ran through, but all the young dudes see I'm a TV star.
Not ran through.
What I think is a little bit of everything. At the end of the day, how many male movie stars don't you see with 19, 20, 21, 22, 23-year-olds? And nobody bats an eye, nobody says anything, nobody calls it creepy. But as soon as a woman says, I prefer younger men because men that are my age are just stuck in their ways, they're not flexible. Why is that a problem?
because it's a woman saying it.
But that's the
because
thing. Why is everything?
it's a double standard, because you got to think about it. If you're gonna take it there, Gutter, you got to realize that it's still wrong, because this is why you got some men out here, you know, that really hate females, because you got some R. Shelleys out here, and they're not being, they're not. It's not taking account. It's not being accountable. They're not taking accountability for it. So it is a double standard.
I could
As a
definitely,
woman,
I
as
could
an
definitely see that.
older woman, I mean, if I was like, I'm about to be 40. Me per se, I would not date a person younger than, like, I would probably go maybe 35. I would not go to like 28s and 20s. I would not do that. You know what I'm saying? Because again, that's to me, this is, I don't know, like, it's just weird to me. It's
Yeah, but
very, very weird.
some people have integrity. Some people don't.
To each his own, but it doesn't mean it's right.
So now, right?
It goes to the NFL, to the NBA.
So this right here, where this is going viral, and they're saying a lot of parents need to hear this. Charleston White says if his son makes it to the NBA or NFL, he doesn't owe him anything. I'm going to play this, and I'm going to play another short clip, and then we're going to talk about it.
They make millions. Do they owe you? But you funded his basketball stuff growing up. You bought him his first basketball. You put him in these AAU basketball leagues. You're the reason why he's in the NBA. Does he owe you?
Your kids don't owe you for nothing, homie. Whatever you pour into your children, there's no return check on that. They don't owe you for that. They don't go up and do nothing for you. They don't owe you nothing. They didn't ask to come here. Your children are a result of your choices. They don't owe you nothing. You owe it to them to make sure they are better than you.
Now, Charleston White has said a lot of dumb ish in his time. He's someone that I never thought I would actually agree with. But this is definitely something that I agree with 110%. Because if we do anything for our kids, that's our responsibility. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to do things for our kids. If our kids want to follow a certain career path, it is our job to do these things. And that's not even going to sports, just in general. If you see that your kid is an amazing writer, buy them the program to write movie scripts. For those of you that don't know, there's programs for that. You just go type a movie script on Word, okay?
Fact.
And or if they've always been good at doing makeup, and you go and you buy them the kit, you rent them a little space so they could and go handle their business. You know what I mean? You shouldn't expect your kid to pay you back for that. That's wild to me.
It's selfish, really.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Now, I agree with what Charleston White said. I agree 100%. Now, my question for those who are parents, I'm not sure if you are a parent, Miss Jessica. I'm not sure.
I mean, I have a godson, but I don't have my own children.
Okay. So you're like me. So, well, Gutter, do you feel that if, let's say you did what you did with your son, like you put the son in your programs and everything else, do you feel that because if your child doesn't give you nothing, even though they don't owe you anything, but if they don't do anything or give you anything, would you feel like you felt as a parent? Meaning, like my mom, my mom put me in a lot of different things. My mom supported me when I ran track and this and that, right? And now that I'm older, you know, I would like to retire my mom early. You know what I'm saying? I would like to do stuff like that. That's like an automatic thing. Like, as long as you know you was a good parent to your kid is going to want to do something. Do you agree with that? Or do you feel that if the child don't want to do anything, would you feel you failed as a parent?
Free will is a motherfucker. You can do absolutely everything for your kids. And ultimately, they can turn around and say, you ain't do shit for me. Or I don't remember it that way. Or, okay, and you're supposed to do that. Do more. So, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, it depends. It doesn't make you a bad parent because your kid came out ungrateful. Because at the end of the day, number one, they do have the DNA of the other parent. And influences and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, you know, regardless of what we do within our home, there are going to be some outside influences in school and peer pressure or whatever. And ultimately, as great parents, we should try to minimize that. And we should try to instill the confidence in our kids to stand on their own and not falter to certain things. But at the end of the day, we can't save them from everything. We just can't. And with that being said, no, I wouldn't expect anything from my kid at all. And I give him everything. But that's my job. He didn't ask to be here. You know, I made that decision to bring that young man into this world. So it is what it is. That's just my take.
I agree with that also. Like, I wouldn't expect my child to do anything for me. I mean, if they want to do it because that's how they want to show their appreciation, of course, why not? But I wouldn't expect it. And I never understood why some of these NBA moms and all these athlete moms, they just feel as if they're like the highest thing and they should just be above the wife or the fiance. Because once you get married, I think, or on the way to getting married, I think you should be respected more. But like, I never understood why the mothers feel as if they're more important than the wife.
Not because when it comes to that, you got some of the parents when they, like, you know how like when Gutter and other people say, if you see your child is doing this, you got some mothers, you got some fathers, because they didn't do it or they didn't make it, they put that extra, you have to, because the extra pressure on that kid at times.
And that's so unfair.
It is so unfair. Now, with that whole question with the who comes first and whatever, like what you were saying too, when it comes to like the mom, I know some mothers that feel regardless of who their son is dating, especially from mothers, from what I know, because I know some females that got sons. It doesn't matter if their son is married, they still feel that they come first, which technically that is not the case. Once your son gets married, it's his wife.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you got some that, feel like, nah, my son is my son. Now, if I ask my husband the thought on that, my husband would say them females maybe need a man in their lives. Because, your son is married, and for you to be in competition with his wife and have him in the middle like that, that's crazy.
Wicked.
And vice versa too. Like, as a woman, if you married, and then your family should understand and respect that your husband is your husband. Any issues, any problems, come to you about it. Don't just go off the lip.
Let's segue into
white families adopting black children, full stop. And this isn't to say anything negative about my family. I know that they love me and I love them, but they were and are ill-equipped to deal with the issues that black people face in this world. All the love and good intention will never prepare you or that child for the things that they'll have to go through being a black person in a white environment. When they walk out that door, you will not be able to protect them from the violence that they're going to experience. Verbal abuse, physical abuse, being singled out in school, not being able to play with certain friends because you're black. The first time I was called the N-word, I was 5 years old. And it doesn't stop there. The racist jokes that are told in your presence, and then you're assured that, you know what, we're not talking about you. There's a difference between black people and N-words. And that's just the overt racism. The covert racism is even worse, because that comes from your close friends and even your family. The gaslighting, the denial, the I don't see color bullshit. I'm only speaking from my own personal experience, but feel free to go follow the hundreds of creators on this app that are of color who have been adopted by white families who have similar stories to mine. And for anyone who thinks that they're going to come for me in my comments section, just remember, I've got your playbook, so I know how you all operate. I don't care what you think, because as a 52-year-old woman who has been tiptoeing around fragile white feelings for her entire life.
Hold on, but you're right. She definitely needs therapy.
Therapy ASAP, as soon as possible.
What are your thoughts?
I agree with her when she says that white families aren't really equipped to deal with the pressures of raising a black child because they just don't understand what a black child goes through. So she does that. I agree with that. That's definitely a point. But like 52 years old and you still crashing out over it. It's like, ooh, girl. Like, this still bothers you? I have some concerns.
You still crashing out is wild.
You still pressured by this? It still triggers you? I mean, you're black. You can leave those white spaces. You ain't got to stay there. You're grown. You can leave those spaces. It's okay. You don't have to stay there. So I don't understand why this still triggers you. So, like you said, she definitely might have to get some therapy.
She definitely does. But I want to give a shout out to my Knicks. Definitely, we won game 1 tonight. Playoffs just started, so we off to a good start. Now, Jeff Van Gundy, who used to be a Knicks coach, right? If you see, hold on. I don't know if you remember this from 1999. That's Jeff Van Gundy holding on to Alonzo Mourning's leg for dear life, right? Alonzo Mourning was the center at the time, and they got into a scuffle, right? Now, fast forward to 2025. Here's Jeff Van Gundy tussling with Joker over the ball. He still ain't learned. My boy, 26 years later, you're 5'6". Stop tussling with these NBA players for no basketball. KV, I agree with you. Tip ain't that guy. He really isn't. He just isn't. But let's see what happens. Jessica, thank you so much for joining us this evening. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Can we bring her back?
We
like
can
her.
definitely discuss it.
The Gen Z, they
But,
start thinking like that.
Joe says, not Van Gundy fighting for balls. Yo, y'all stupid.
On that note,
Straight from the Gutter Network is sponsored by Sensational Smiles 845, 2 West Main Street, Middletown, New York. You heard Dr. Nia will be back next week. We back in our bullshit. Jessica, thank you for tuning in with us. Bam, you are ready. We'll see y'all. We'll see y'all
thank
next week.
you.